Hi, my name's Rebecca Edwards. I'm just going to take you through a short yoga sequence, particularly working on opening up the hip flexors and the hamstrings. Come to a downward facing dog to begin.
And gently paddle the heels up and down, alternating knee bends. As you do this, start to feel the connection of your hands, your fingers long, the back of your knuckles rooted, the circumference of your palm pressed into the floor. Even out both legs as you press through both hands, both arms long, hips draw up and back, firm both legs. Lift both heels high, lower the knees down to the ground. So your hands are below your shoulders, knees are below the hips. Straighten your right leg out with the toes tucked under on the floor and make that leg very strong and straight. Scoop in the belly and lift the ribs very slightly by pushing more firmly into the hands. And then try balancing, so you lift that straight leg away from the ground and take the opposite arm away from the ground. Hold that there and feel like you've got a heavy weight on the back of the heel. You're trying to push it away and lift it without letting your ribs and your belly drop. Breathe through the nose. Return that hand and knee to the floor. Straighten the left leg, tuck the toes under. Make that left leg firm and strong. Again, emphasize a lift through the belly, lifting and tucking in the ribs. As that leg lifts up away from the ground, extend your right arm. So we have opposite arm and opposite leg lifted, challenging the balance, making sure that we keep a long back leg and stability from the core as we lift in through the belly and the ribs. Place that hand and leg back down to the floor. Return to a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg in the air. Step your right foot inside your right hand, and if it doesn't quite get far enough, lift it forwards. Come onto your fingertips or blocks, if you find blocks would be helpful. Inhale, lift your hips up a little so the front leg straightens out a bit. And then sink as low down as you can with the pelvis without letting the knee drop to the ground. Inhale as you scoop the hips up. Exhale as you sink the hips down. Two more. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you sink. Really pushing through that front foot as you pull the hips up. And then lower down. Hands to the floor. Step that leg back in the air as you inhale. Exhale, return the foot down to the floor. Left leg, inhale as it lifts. Exhale, step the foot inside the left hand. Onto your fingertips or blocks. Inhale, scoop the hips up so they come higher. Exhale, sink your hips down, look forwards a little. Inhale as you scoop up. Exhale as you sink down. Inhale as you scoop up, pulling your hips into the sockets, your thigh bones into the sockets. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. And exhale down. This time we're going to step the back leg up to the top of the mat. Inhale as you come into a flat back. You might have to put your hands on your shins to achieve that. And then exhale, fold over the legs. Come all the way up to standing. Open the legs and the arms wide. Look up toward the hands. Bring your hands into a prayer position, look forwards. We'll do some sun salutations with some lunges. Inhale as the arms open, lift and look up. Exhale as you bow forwards, bend your knees if you need to get the hands down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your right leg back, drop the knee down to the ground. Inhale, press firmly into that front foot as you lift your arms, find stability. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, step to a plank position. Exhale, bend your elbows and lower forwards and all the way to the floor. Palms face the ceiling and inhale as you lift your head, chest and arms away from the ground. Roll the shoulder heads back. Reach longer through your legs so your thighs lengthen away from the ground. And then as you lower down, tuck the toes under, place your hands by the lower ribs. Roll your shoulder heads back, shoulders to the elbows, elbows pressed to the hands. Push back up to a plank position, then to a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg in the air. Exhale, step inside your right hand, drop the back knee. Inhale as you come into a lunge, use both feet to press to find stability. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, step up, feet hip distance apart. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, open the arms, come up. Exhale, a prayer position, look forwards. One more time, inhale as your arms open, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, hands to the floor if you can. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg back, drop the knee to the ground. Inhale, open your arms, look up and keep your stability from the earth, so really use your feet on the floor. Exhale, hands down. Inhale to a plank position. Exhale, bend your elbows all the way to the ground. Inhale, lift up, roll the shoulders back, locust pose, lengthen the legs. Exhale, pause. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, tuck the toes, palms flat to the floor. Exhale, push up to a plank position. Inhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg in the air. Exhale, step the left foot forward inside the left hand, drop the back knee. Inhale as your arms open, lift and look up. Exhale, hands into back down to the floor. Inhale, step up to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, look up. Exhale, prayer position, look forwards. Slight change, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your right leg back. Keep the knee off the ground. Keep your right hand on the floor and open your left arm into a twist. Inhale. Try and keep your right hip lifted a little and draw your left hip back. Press into the hand on the ground and see if that can help you to turn your shoulders more open. Open your waist, open your arm. Place the hand back down to the floor. And then step back to a plank position. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the ground. Inhale, locust pose. Exhale, lower the locust pose down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, push up to a plank position. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left leg forwards. Drop the back knee. Take the back knee off the ground. Twist this time. So we're opening the right arm, keeping the left hand on the floor. So the same twist we did when we were stepping back with the other leg. So we're going to squeeze the right hip back. Keep the left hip lifted a little. Left leg really firm. See if you can open your chest anymore. Place the hand back down to the floor. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to a prayer position. Slight change again. Inhale as the arms lift, look up. Exhale, bow forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. And step the left leg back first this time. Bring your right hand onto your right hip. Take the left elbow or the forearm onto your right leg. So forearm is slightly gentler or slightly easier, lesser twist. Elbow to the outer edge of the thigh or the knee is a deeper twist. And then just push down into that leg and see if you can turn your chest a little more. If you have the elbow on the outer edge of the arm, maybe you can bring the hands into a prayer position. So squeeze the right hip back, firm your back left leg, turn the spine. Place your hands down to the floor. And then we're going to shorten the stride, so step the back foot in a little bit closer and turn it to a 45-degree angle. Try and square your hips, so the right hip rolls back a little and the left hip rolls forwards a little. Bend over your right leg. Engage the muscles of the legs. Let your head be heavy. If you can't reach the floor, then you'll have your hands on blocks. Then lift the back heel off the floor and lower the back knee to the ground. Straighten the front leg out with the toes pointing toward the ceiling. Lift the chest, and again you either come onto blocks or make your arms long enough so that the chest can lengthen forwards as you reach your sit bones back. Keep the front foot flexed. Hands back down to the floor. Step back to a plank position. Bend the elbows lower to the ground. Inhale, locust pose, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, straighten the legs, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, push up to a plank position. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, other side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Step the left leg forwards. And then bring your left hand onto your left hip. And your right either forearm onto your thigh or elbow to the outer edge of the knee. So I'm going to have to turn away from you. As you press into the elbow, turn your chest. And maybe bring the prayer position as you did on the other side. Get that back leg strong and straight and roll the left hip in a bit deeper. Give your spine length and space as you twist. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Shorten the stride a little and then square your hips. Bend over the front leg. So sometimes it's nice to use your hands to check if you're not sure of where your body's positioned. So if you put your hand on the back of the pelvis and it feels a little wonky, then try moving your body around and feel what happens on the back of the pelvis. Where are you best placed to feel it level and even? From there, bend deeper. Engage both thighs. Press through both feet and feel the energy from the ground. Travel up the legs into the square position of your pelvis. Lift the back heel, drop the knee down to the floor, straighten your front leg out with the toes pointing to the ceiling. Hands are below your shoulders so you get optimal length through the arms. Lengthen your chest, lengthen your belly, and feel the sit bones reach back. Front foot flat to the floor, step up to the top of the mat, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale all the way up, look up. Exhale, a prayer position. Step wide on your mat. Keep your feet pointing forwards, feet in line with each other, hands on your hips, and take a wide leg forward bend. So you come down with your hands on the floor or blocks. Try and keep the centre of your thighs facing forwards. Avoid the thighs collapsing in or out too far. And this isn't all about getting as deep as you can. So just feel where the right level is for you, where you can keep integrity in the position of your legs. Inhale onto the fingertips. Exhale, firm your legs, hands on your hips. Inhale, lift up through a straight back. And then heel toe your feet in a little closer, not too close. Turn the toes out, bring your hands onto the knees and sink down into the inner thighs. And then we're just going to twist opposite shoulder towards opposite knee. Inhale, centre. Exhale, opposite shoulder towards opposite knee. Inhale, centre. Exhale, cross over. Inhale, centre. Feel when you go over, shoulder toward knee, there's a gentle press out with your hands, so you'll feel it open out the opposite inner thigh. Inhale back up, and then straighten out the legs. Heel toe your feet in a little. Have them a bit wider than your hips. I'm just going to turn around because we're going to come down to sitting. So feet a bit wider than the hips, slightly turned out. Come down into a squat with your hands in a prayer position. So when you squat down with your hands in a prayer position, we want to try and get the forearms in line with each other, lift and open your chest. If you need to use your hands, do.
If you can reach forwards and lower your bottom to the floor without any trouble, without any fall, then just lower your bottom gently down. We're going to take a block behind the back of the pelvis. If you don't have a block, a few cushions would do, a pillow or a book. So a block or something similar underneath the back of your pelvis. And try and have it on the lower area of your pelvis so it's less in the curve of your lower back. We'll straighten out the right leg and then bend the left knee in toward the chest. With the straight leg, try and reach the heel away and push the back of the ankle deeper toward the ground. So in this case, my right leg's straight, so I'm pressing my right thigh bone toward the ground. To exchange, place the bent leg foot on the floor. Bring your straight leg into a hug. And then the foot that's on the floor slides away. Squeeze the knee in. And focus on lengthening out through the straight leg so the thigh bone presses down. The knee that you're holding, put the foot back onto the ground, both feet flat on the ground, lift the hips and remove the block, roll the spine down. Draw the knees toward the chest and take your arms inside the legs to hold the outside edge of your feet. And then try lifting the feet toward the ceiling and just rock a little side to side. Happy baby pose. So a little bit of happiness as you roll around. And then find yourself as close to centre as you can. Wiggle the hips toward the floor and pull the knees toward the ground. As you release this, lower the heels back toward the bottom, feet to the floor. Lengthen out your buttocks. Straighten out your body for Shavasana. So we just have the legs a bit wider than the hips. Open the arms, palms upwards, close your eyes. Take a few breaths here where you just let the whole of your body surrender into the ground beneath you. Let your weight drop into the earth. Notice the end of each exhalation. And at that point, you feel like you drop the most. When you reach the end of the exhale, you feel that deep surrendering inside your body. Feel like every joint, every part of you is loose and open and free from tension. And as we unwind the tension in our body, this in turn can help us to really feel some sort of freedom and ease in our mind. So notice, in contrast to the heaviness of your body as it sinks into the earth, a feeling of lightness in your mind as you let go of any mental or emotional tension. It goes away with each breath. Heavy body, light mind. Heavy body, light mind. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend the knees, roll over to your side and push into the hands to come to sitting. So thank you for getting to the end of that session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you feel some extra freedom in your hip flexors and your hamstrings. Thank you. Namaste.